The 2024 NFL draft is 64 days away now. I'm going to be doing my first mock draft of the offseason. The Bears, they are going to be taking Caleb Williams. I think this is a consensus around the league. If the Bears don't end up doing this, it would blow everybody's mind. It'd be the craziest plot twist ever. It'd probably be the biggest thing to happen over the whole offseason. Caleb Williams he's been projected to be the best prospect over the last decade, maybe even longer. The Bears can't pass that up. He's going to be cheaper than Justin Fields as well. I also won't be upset. Get Justin Fields out of the NFC North. I'm sick of Justin Fields running all over the Lions. Justin Fields is right now projected to go to Atlanta. I really hope he does go there. Him and Bijan will be fun to watch, running back 1 and running back 2. I'm joking, Bears fans, but no, for real. He'd be great to go to Atlanta. I like Justin Fields a lot, actually. I hate on him because I'm a Lions fan. He's in the NFC North. He has had 38 fumbles over the last 3 years, and he struggled with the Bears, but I think he has a lot of potential, obviously. I think everyone thinks that. Look how fast he is. He's a great runner, and he can make some great throws sometimes. But I just think the Bears organization has failed him. They'll probably do the same to Caleb Williams. I hope so, as a Lions fan. Maybe not, though. We'll see what happens. But I think it's set in stone that Williams goes number 1 overall. 2 with the Commanders, Drake May. Seen Jaden Daniels go here. I just think Drake May's play style, just more potential to be better. That's just my opinion. I like him more. The Patriots, 3rd overall. I think it's not then going to be Jaden Daniels. You see the Patriots sometimes on mock drafts taking Marvin Harrison Jr. However, if they do take Marvin Harrison Jr., I think that'd be a bit crazy. In my opinion, Mac Jones is not the quarterback of the future for the Patriots. And this is a perfect opportunity to either get Drake May or Daniels. Whatever one falls to you, I think they should 100% take him. You take Marvin Harrison Jr., probably the best player in this draft. He's a great pick, great player. However, I just don't see Mac Jones getting Harrison the football. I just don't think he'd be used enough. I don't think you'd get the full potential out of him. And maybe I'm just a Mac Jones hater. I think he's terrible. I think you need a solid quarterback to win this league. And you can get one. You could get a potential Hall of Fame quarterback. I think you have to. Mac Jones, you see the locker room issues. He's just so bad. He gets benched for Zappy, and Zappy's not even that good. So I think you just have to take quarterback. The Cardinals are either going to go Marvin Harrison Jr. or they're going to go with a lineman. And some people freak out when they don't see a lineman go fairly early. The Cardinals are going to go Harrison Jr. He's just way too good to pass up. He's going to stay in red. See what him and Kyler Murray can get done. Maybe the connection will be a little bit like Murray to Hopkins, or maybe even better. Harrison Jr. is just so good. So fast. Great hands. Great after the catch. He's the best. And the Cardinals, you can't pass up on that opportunity. If the Cardinals don't take Marvin Harrison Jr., if they go with an offensive tackle, they go Joe Alt, Shanu, it could happen. They need help with that offensive line. They have to protect Kyler Murray. He can't run around forever. The Chargers will 100% take Harrison. I've seen mock drafts where the Cardinals take a tackle and then they have Harrison Jr. fall to Giants or the Falcons. Marvin Harrison Jr. will not fall out of the top 5 selections. There is no way. There's no way that the Chargers, in some people's mock drafts, are taking Malik Neighbors or Odunze. If the Cardinals pass up on him, then the Chargers are going to take an offensive lineman, which they could, but they're not going to take a lineman if Harrison Jr. is on the board. The Chargers could also trade out of this spot. I think that's very likely. Trade back, still get a solid lineman. There's like 8, 9, maybe even more super solid offensive linemen that are probably going to go in the first round. We have a deep class here. A lot of teams need offensive linemen. So the Chargers, though, with the 5th pick, they could go Malik Neighbors. They need wide receivers. Keenan Allen, Williams, both injured all the time, aging, contracts expiring. Justin Herbert needs someone to throw the ball to. They could also go Brock Bowers. Great tight end, great hands, great after the catch, just a bulldozer, kind of a hybrid because he can also block for the run game or for Justin Herbert. They need help with their linemen. And we've seen how strong a great wide receiver to tight end connection can be in the NFL. Obviously, Mahomes to Kelsey. We've seen Brady to Gronk. And obviously at the toss in, Jared Goff to Sam Laporta. I mean, a great tight end can be a game changer for your offensive schemes. I think the Chargers could go Brock Bowers here. And they could go maybe Joe Alt or Fashanu. I like Joe Alt more. I just think he's better. And it also helps with Fashanu's injury history. I'm going to go Malik Neighbors here, though. He's just too fast, too good after the catch. Will just be dominant with Justin Herbert. He needs someone else to throw the ball to. And Malik Neighbors can carve up the defense. Justin Herbert has a cannon of an arm. You almost don't need very much time to throw. The Chargers will have to address offensive line, though, in this draft because they have to protect their franchise quarterback. They have to establish some type of run game. But I think Malik Neighbors is too good to pass up on that weapon for Justin Herbert. You need it. I mean, you can get an offensive lineman. I like that pick, but then just who is he throwing the ball to? I guess we saw Patrick Mahomes win the Super Bowl without a wide receiver room. I mean, who is he throwing to? But Justin Herbert isn't Patrick Mahomes, and he's doing nowhere near as good as him win-wise. So I think Justin Herbert, they need something offensively. They're going to go Malik Neighbors. The Giants, they need a lot. Daniel Jones is the quarterback. I'm not a Daniel Jones fan, kind of a Daniel Jones hater. Do not think he's good whatsoever, but he's probably going to be the quarterback this season. The front office likes him. They hired him. They paid him. Probably going to be him. I think the Giants here would go Brock Bowers. I like this for Daniel Jones. I'm drafting, and I know Daniel Jones is going to be under center for my team. I'm getting him Brock Bowers, someone that's big. He's a big target for him. You can't miss him. He's great after the catch, so Daniel Jones has to get him the ball. Just get him the ball, put the ball in his hands, and then Brock Bowers, let Brock Bowers make the plays. He can also block for the run game for Daniel Jones. They need help blocking. A lineman could make sense for them as well. But they need offensive weapons as well. You hope they actually use him. But Brock Bowers, he can get out in the flat, go up a few yards. Daniel Jones can dump him the ball off. It's easy. It's not too complicated. Doesn't have to make any crazy throws, and they can be successful with that. Brock Bowers is also just a crazy prospect weapon out there. I like that pick. For the Titans, Joe Alt. They need offensive line help. They need to protect their quarterback of the future, Will Levis. They could go wide receiver. I think Odunze would be a good pick for them. You don't see it in very many people's mock drafts. Odunze going to the Titans. Pretty interesting, Will Levis is an athlete. Good arm on him. I think just Joe Alt is the smarter decision. You want to protect your quarterback. Let him develop. If he's constantly under pressure, you're going to continue to suffer. You need that part of your offense first, especially for a developing quarterback, a younger quarterback. And if you don't have that, unless you're really lucky and have like someone like Patrick Mahomes, you're not going to be successful. They need offensive linemen. They need to get that run game going. Derrick Henry, he be back. If he's back, that would also really help the run. I mean, Derrick Henry, obviously a beast, doesn't really need an offensive line because he can block and run the football at the same time. At the end of last season, he took the mic and talked to the stadium and said thank you for everything. I'm not sure if it was just because his contract was up and the future is uncertain, or was he actually planning on leaving? Like he's saying goodbye, thank you, I'm probably gonna be gone. I'm not sure. I think Derrick Henry will be gone, but for the Titans, very helpful if he could stay. Will Levis would love that. I'm sure the front office would love that. Will be interesting to see what happens. Moving on to the 8th overall pick with the Falcons. They have a great offense, and as I said earlier, Justin Fields, rumors are he's going to the Falcons, or maybe that's just the best landing spot for him. Justin Fields unfollowed the Bears on Instagram. He's from Atlanta. I'd be super excited to see him go to Atlanta. I've always liked Atlanta. Their offense is good, great run game. They have Drake London, Kyle Pitts. Now, if they bring in Justin Fields, he has someone to throw to. If they keep Desmond Ridder, Ridder is younger still. There's still room for him to develop. I don't think he's very good at all. I think he sucks, but he's not terrible. He's not the worst in the league. Definitely worse quarterbacks, like Zach Wilson. And the Falcons have always just had, really strong offense, and they're always like, we'll worry about defense later. I think it's time to worry about defense. The Bears defense is pretty solid for Justin Fields. Well, not pretty solid. It's been getting better, and it's improved a lot. I think the Falcons would really benefit off drafting an edge rusher. I like Dallas Turner. super explosive, great taking down the quarterback against the run. Great prospect, can get him in there right away, start playing, and could be game changing for this Falcons offense. They got to put pressure on the quarterback. They need to stop the run. They're terrible. They're just terrible on defense, and they need a lot of help. Turner is the start to fixing that. For the Bears, if this is how it goes, Odunze will be drafted. Caleb Williams to Odunze will be super exciting to watch. Mooney's going to be gone, but DJ Moore and Odunze together, it's going to be really exciting for Bears fans. Stars are aligning. Everything's coming together. The defense is getting better. You're getting an all-star wide receiver to pair up with DJ Moore, another all-star wide receiver. You're getting the best prospect ever for quarterback. How can you mess it up? I really hope you do. Sorry. At least I'm biased. You know me. I'm the most unbiased Lions fan in the world. If you watch my videos, you probably wouldn't even realize that I actually am a Lions fan. I rarely talk about it. I made just a few mock drafts by myself, and I had Odunze falling. I was like pick 18. I hadn't drafted him yet. I could see him maybe going down, but probably not. I think a team would just scoop him up. He's too good. He's too fast, and that's why I was like, this is stupid. What am I doing? He's too good of a prospect. Even if your team needs an offensive lineman, he could be game changing, and just that value with your draft pick. I like teams going to get who they want, like Brad Holmes. I try not to glaze the lines. I'm sorry, but I think it's really good if you draft a player that you want and you think he's going to be good, no matter the value. Obviously, like a little bit regarding the value, but like he's projected to go 40th and you take him 25th or 20th and he ends up being really good. Nobody cares about the value if the player is good. So if you're a good drafter, go for who you want. The Jets at 10th overall. The Jets need help with their offensive line. Saw Rodgers play 4 snaps and he ran 100 yards in just those 4 snaps running from players. They need help. They need to be able to block for Breece Hall. They're going to go Fuaga. I like him more here just because, again, it's Fashanu's injuries. And I think just Fuaga fits better with the Jets. I think he might actually be a little bit better. That's just my opinion. I just liked him more, and I think the Jets are more likely to pick him. Aaron Rodgers needs some protection. Jets defense is super good. I think the Jets are a team to look out for. I haven't even really heard people going crazy about the Jets this season. Usually, or I guess not usually, but last season, the Jets were like the favorites to win the Super Bowl. Everyone kept talking about the Jets. I was a little bit skeptical about saying they were going to be like a super good team last season. They probably would have been, but Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, so we don't really know. But this season, I feel like I haven't heard it yet. I know it's still early. The season doesn't start for a while, but I don't know. Jets are definitely a team to look out for, and I think they're going to be really good. You know, last season, they just have a quarterback that can throw the ball to Garrett Wilson and hand it off to Breece Hall. They're one of the best teams in the league. Just their defense is unstoppable. The Vikings with the 11th overall pick, a lot of questions up in the air. Are they going to need a quarterback? Is Kirk Cousins going to be back? They need a lot of help in a lot of areas. They need cornerback. They need linemen, offensive linemen. I think they go Byron Murphy II here. 6'4", 260 pounds, and the Vikings need some help in the trenches, and Byron Murphy can put pressure on the quarterback. He can get low, he's explosive, has some good moves. Get him in there right away. You start making plays for you. The Vikings need to put some pressure on the quarterback. They got to stop the run. He'll help with their pass game. I think it'd be just better than taking a cornerback. I think Byron Murphy, there's more value there, and he can be a bigger game changer for the Vikings. They need help there. Byron Murphy, I think, is a great selection. The Broncos with the 12th overall pick. A lot of people are projecting JJ McCarthy to go in the first round. To that, I say, no way. I think JJ McCarthy has a lot of potential. I'm not a JJ McCarthy lover. I'm not a McCarthy hater. I think there's a lot of potential there. I think he could. Broncos is a good place for him to end up. Sean Payne could coach him up. So, you know, Russ is not going to be back. He's gone. Maybe the Broncos trade back and take him, but in scenarios where the Broncos don't take JJ McCarthy in people's mock drafts, the Raiders end up taking him, or another team, Steelers. And I just don't see JJ McCarthy going to the first round. He's a good prospect. Again, I think he has some good parts of his game, but I think he needs some coaching, and I think he's definitely coachable. But that's the thing about mock drafts. I feel like people don't talk about it enough. Nobody knows how good a player is going to be in the NFL. Nobody. You can have good guesses, but nobody knows. I just think that's really interesting. Everyone's like saying this will happen. I feel like when they make their predictions, they're so sure of it, but nobody knows. And that's what makes it so much fun, because you're just guessing and you're trying to make the best prediction. Right now, I'm trying to predict what these teams will do. I didn't mention it, but I'm not doing any trades in this mock draft. I think the Broncos are going to go Terrion Arnold. Matching him up with Surtain would really help their defense. Their defense was good at times, but also struggled at times. They need help with corner. I think it's a great move for him. Good value. Arnold is a beast. It's huge. Great speed. Great prospect. I think he's probably the best corner in the draft. It's either him or Wiggins. There's a lot of great corner talent. I think there's going to be a lot of successful corners. I think it's close. I just think it's your opinion. And Terrion Arnold, to me, is a great player. You put him in there, and the Broncos defense will instantly be better. The Raiders are not going to take McCarthy. I just think, I don't know. It's really tough because you need a quarterback to be successful in the NFL, and these teams need quarterbacks. It's almost like they might just say, fuck it, and just Hail Mary and take a quarterback 12th, 13th. It would be a reach, but again, as I said, if they really like JJ McCarthy and they are sure he's going to be good, then I would take him there. But I'm not so sure he's going to be good, and obviously I don't know what they think. I'm just not the biggest fan of him. I don't think he's a round one talent, so that's why I wouldn't take him there. I don't think they would take him. A lot of people are projecting him to go here, and I just think it's crazy that many people are on board with these rumors. And since when are the draft rumors in February or March, even April, since when are they true? They never end up being true. It's always the opposite. The players that are projected to be reached on or drafted way higher than people thought, they end up dropping. And I don't know, just the rumors are either not true or they're late. The Raiders here with the 13th overall pick. They need help in a lot of areas. Is Josh Jacobs going to be back? Are they going to sign him to another one-year deal? Again, they need a quarterback. O'Connell isn't the best, but he's not the worst. I think they could roll with him. Obviously, Jimmy G taking the dick pills or something. It's pretty embarrassing. Jimmy G, what are you doing? Injured. Probably just didn't care at that point. Season's over. Might as well just recover. I think the Raiders are going to go Fashanu. They need help with their offensive line. Fashanu is a great prospect. Some people have him the best tackle in the draft. I'm not as high on him because of his injuries, and I think teams should be scared of that and will be scared of that. But there comes a point where you're getting so much value for a certain selection. I think it's a great spot for Fashanu to go. Definitely help out there. Protect your quarterback. I'm really big on offensive linemen, just having a solid offensive line, if you haven't realized already. Unless you have, honestly, it doesn't even matter. Even if your quarterback can run, because we see Justin Fields, he can make the plays, but you can't consistently escape the pocket and make phenomenal plays every single time. Sometimes you mess up. We even see Patrick Mahomes sometimes just throw a stupid interception. You need that protection to feel relaxed, comfortable in the pocket to make great throws. The Saints, 14th overall pick. I like them going Jared Verse here. Again, another team that could go for JJ McCarthy or an offensive lineman. I like them taking the edge rusher. They're kind of the same with the Broncos for me. Their defense was good at times, but also bad at times. They definitely need help in the trenches. And Jared Verse is just a phenomenal edge rusher. He had so many sacks his last 2 years at Florida State. Put him in there. He's going to be able to make plays instantly. Game changing for the Saints. Great speed, explosive. I really like Jared Verse, and I think he could be a great spot for the Saints here. The Colts, 15th overall pick. I really liked watching the Colts this last year. They were a really exciting team. That Colts versus Texans rivalry was a lot more exciting, and I think that's going to be a good game to watch, or 2 games a year for the next seasons to come. I like Nate Wiggins here. Some people have Nate Wiggins going above Arnold. I think Arnold will go higher. I'm not sure that he's better in my opinion, but I think teams will be higher on Arnold and just take him higher. Nate Wiggins, though, you got to take this opportunity to improve your DBs. The Colts got shredded by CJ Stroud. Those games are high scoring. The Colts defense lacks. Minshew, though, great backup. Anthony Richardson will be back, so that'd be very exciting. But the Colts need some help. Nate Wiggins, incredible arm length. He's tall. and he's just fast. Like that speed matched with everything else and his height and his length. Phenomenal corner, can hang with anybody. The Colts will definitely use him, and he'll be phenomenal there. The Seahawks going with the 16th overall pick. I could see them going Jackson Powers Johnson here. I think Jackson Powers Johnson is one of my favorite prospects in the draft. I really hope the Lions get him. Probably won't happen though unless he trades up. Jackson Powers Johnson though is a stud. However, the Seahawks need a lot of help on defense. Their run game is non-existent. Their secondary has improved a lot. Devin Witherspoon, I really wanted the Lions to get him last season. I'm happy with the picks, but I was really high on Devin Witherspoon, and he has not disappointed. I think the Seahawks to go Laiatu Latu, though. Latu's phenomenal. Maybe even the best edge rusher in the class. I have him going lower due to injury and mainly just due to injury. I think teams will be conscious of that. But Latu, people have him being a Pro Bowler in just a few years. He's phenomenal, explosive, great edge rusher. All of his skill sets will work in the NFL. If you watch him, it's like he's doing this against college players. Doesn't even matter who's standing there trying to block him. He's going to get past. Seahawks especially need help in the run game. Latu's phenomenal at that. And he'll also help in the pass rush, though. Great pick there for the Seahawks. I think that's very likely. Moving on to the Jags. The Jags had a very embarrassing season, honestly. Had the division and then just threw it away. They were like the Titans 2 seasons ago. Have the division and throw it away. What's with it over there? The Jags need to protect Trevor Lawrence. Offensive lineman is definitely a need, but they also need some defensive help. I like Quinion Mitchell here. Great cornerback. People see Toledo and they're not as high on him. I definitely think because of that he won't go as high in the draft. Definitely like a stigma with not being Alabama, Georgia, Clemson. I think people get frustrated about that, but I think it's fair. Players from great colleges with great coaches and facilities and everything usually end up being better in the NFL. However, I think Mitchell is still a phenomenal player. You have that speed, you have that body size, you have great hands. He'll be phenomenal in the NFL. Jacksonville needs help defensively. I think it's a great pick for the Jags. They could also go Jackson Powers Johnson. I could see that happening. Promise I'm not sending Jackson Powers Johnson to the Lions. I'm not having him drop just because that's what I want to happen. I'm unbiased. Bengals at 18. They had quite an interesting season last year. They need some help offensive line wise and defensive line wise. They need to protect Burrow. They've had offensive line issues for a while. Best tackle available here is J.C. Latham. I think that's what they would end up doing. They need help. They need to protect Burrow. They need help in the run game. They will not be successful if Burrow keeps getting beaten up. Now, that's not why he had most of his injuries last season. It was during the offseason. But still, during games, you watch Burrow, and he's fighting for his life. How do you expect him to get the ball to Jamar Chase? Now, you could see the Bengals taking a wide receiver. I would not be surprised with that either. But to me, I think just the best decision there would be take J.C. Latham. And I think it's a very probable landing spot for him to go to the Bengals. The Rams are another really exciting team, interesting team to look into. They've had a lot of great draft picks recently. Byron Young, phenomenal edge rusher. Puka Nacua, everybody knows who that is. The Rams need some help with cornerback, though. You look at the Lions-Rams playoff game. Did the Rams even have a secondary out there? And come on, give some credit to my Lions, though. Just phenomenal offense. But the Rams, they had very little help in their secondary. And I really like Kool-Aid McKinstry. I really want Kool-Aid to go to the Lions, but the Rams need help with corner. Kool-Aid is another phenomenal corner. Some people argue that Kool-Aid McKinstry is the cornerback one and better than Terrion Arnold. I think Arnold might be a bit better and go a bit higher, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kool-Aid is right behind him. They're both phenomenal. Rams need help at corner. We saw Jalen Ramsey leave. The Rams need a lot of help in a lot of places, but corner would be a great place to start. Their defensive line gets some good pressure, so I think Kool-Aid would be a great pick there. Great hands. Super fun to watch. Kool-Aid, go watch him. He's really exciting to watch. He's made some great interceptions. Just sticks right to the player. He's physical. He's strong. I really like Kool-Aid. Moving on to the Steelers, JJ McCarthy. No, it will not be JJ McCarthy. If JJ McCarthy does go in the first round, though, I would almost bet that it's going to be the Steelers. Out of any team that takes JJ in the first round, I'd say Steelers, 100%. I think it's a great spot for him. Kenny Pickett's not it, probably. McCarthy to George Pickens, that would be a funny connection to look out for if that happened. But I don't think the Steelers will take McCarthy here. And Justin Fields could also go to the Steelers, and that would be pretty crazy. Strong defense with Justin Fields, that could be dangerous. I think he's probably going to go to Atlanta, though. And I guess I'm kind of contradicting myself because most of the rumors are him to Atlanta, and I said rumors are usually false. Sometimes when it's like that, like Aaron Rodgers to the Jets, it's almost like that's a lock. But about the draft rumors, those are the ones you got to look out for. I like the Steelers taking Jackson Powers-Johnson here. He's so versatile. Obviously was a center, but you can put him at guard. You can put him at tackle. He's huge, 330 pounds, I think, and he can move. He's fast. He can get out there, make blocks. That's what the Steelers need. They need someone like him to protect their quarterback, whoever it might be. If it's still Pickett, they need help protecting him and just giving him a little bit of extra time, help in the run game. The Steelers could still be a really good team. I know they're kind of a meme. At least they're a winning team, but they just make the playoffs every year or have a winning record, and then that's that. But it's still phenomenal what they're able to do, how Mike Tomlin has that devil energy power to just keep the Steelers from having a losing record. And honestly, everyone hates on him, but you wish that your team didn't have a losing record as much as they do. In the end, we're all just jealous of the Steelers. The Dolphins with the 21st overall pick. This is a team I've begun to hate. I've liked Mike McDaniels less and less. Not a big fan of Tua. Their defense is all right, but I'm just not a big, I don't know. I'm not a big Dolphins fan. I've begun to hate them. I did not like their play calling. Mike McDaniels is kind of getting annoying to me. I still think he's funny, and I kind of like him, but at the same time, I've kind of gotten sick of him, and a lot of that has stemmed from their playoff loss, the Chiefs, and their Week 18 loss to the Bills. I have to make a video about that because the play calling, oh my goodness, and I feel like just not talked about enough, like how bad it was. And Mike McDaniels is supposed to be this alien computer brain guy, and I don't think he is. Anyway, they need help with their offensive line. I think they take Amarius Mims here. I think the Dolphins 100% go offensive line here. You saw him against the Chiefs, constantly under pressure. I know the Chiefs are a really good defense, but you're going to go up against the best defenses in the playoffs. Need help. They're in a strong division. AFC is just strong overall as well. Amarius Mims is a great pick here. He needs a little bit of development, but has so much potential. Great prospect. I think the Dolphins would do very well with adding Amarius Mims to the roster, help in the run game. They have great talent at running back. They just need to open up some holes to get them running, I guess. They were unable to do that the last 2 weeks of the season. And if they can do that, they're unstoppable. The Eagles, their last season took a turn for the worst. I like Troy Fautanu here. Washington, just a big guy. Absolute stud. You saw him all season long. Washington, they are losing so many players to the draft. But I guess it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing for the school. Troy Fautanu, though, absolute stud. Can move players easily. I don't even know how else to put it. He just moves people like they're not even trying to get past him. The Eagles need a lot of help in a lot of areas. Their meltdown at the end of last season was a joy to watch. I'm not even gonna lie. But it was still sad because I do like Jalen Hurts. And it was kind of heartbreaking just to, just like throw the whole season away, and then in the playoffs, did they even want to be there? Probably not. So good thing they had an early exit. Fautanu, though, would be a great addition to their offensive line. They're losing some players, and they need some help there. And they got to get that run game going. They want to keep their tush push, or the brotherly shove. And Jalen Hurts, I know he can run and escape the pocket, but he needs a good pocket to throw in and to stay comfortable in. Needs that protection. I think the Eagles will 100% draft an offensive lineman. The Texans, 23rd overall pick. They could go offensive lineman. They could go defense. Phenomenal win last season against the Browns. I didn't really take into account how strong I think home field advantages in the playoffs. I think that was a big reason why they won. And CJ Stroud came out the ball. Their whole team did. Maybe I underestimated CJ Stroud a little bit. Thought it'd be close, but I think I more underestimated how important home field advantage is. Like if the Ravens have to travel to Houston to take on the Texans, I think it's a whole different story. But the Texans really didn't get anything done against the Ravens, so maybe not. I think they go wide receiver here. I like Brian Thomas Jr. Give CJ Stroud someone else to throw to. Another weapon for him. He's so good. Add to it. They could go offensive linemen just for some more depth, but their offensive line is already pretty solid, and CJ Stroud has some pretty good protection. But you can never have enough offensive line depth, so you never know who they might take. Thomas Jr., though, has incredible speed, incredible top speed. He's that deep threat that CJ Stroud will love. CJ Stroud has an arm, and he's extremely accurate. And Brian Thomas Jr., incredible at catching the ball and tracking the ball. So just watch out. CJ Stroud is going to be throwing bombs, and Thomas Jr. is going to be catching them at 100 miles per hour and taking them to the end zone. Moving on to the Cowboys. You thought that their team might have been complete last season. And they played the Packers at home and shit themselves. They had one of the best defenses in the league last year, one of the best offenses, one of the best connections with Dak Prescott to CeeDee Lamb, and it all went to shit. And now the Cowboys look like they need a lot more help than people thought they did last season. And a lot of people say that to be because the Cowboys just played and beat up on bad teams, and that might be true, but they still had some really good games against solid teams during the regular season. So I had them taking a tackle, though. I like Barton. He's the best offensive lineman left on the board, and they need help in that run game. They need a running back. I think they'll probably take one later in the draft, but I think teams are, again, prioritize that offensive line. They need to protect Dak Prescott, give him some more time, throw the ball. I like Barton here for the Cowboys. The Packers, 25th overall. They have a pretty solid defense, pretty solid secondary. They could use some more help, and I think they go to Gene. I have him falling quite a bit, or maybe not falling, but people have him a bit lower on their drafts, and I agree with it. Cooper DeJean can play corner. He can play safety. He's a great returner. The Packers need all of that, and he's just a great pick there. If I was the Packers, I'd be really happy with that. Moving on to the Bucks. Bucks also need a lot of help. They need some help against the run. They need some help defensively. I like taking Newton here, especially 26th overall. If Newton falls to them, I think they'd be very happy with that. Great against the run. Has some great moves, and it's good with the pass rush as well. Bucks need that. They need to put some pressure on the quarterback. They need to stop the run. Those are two big problems. They need help in the trenches, and Newton is just phenomenal for that. The big guy, Big Ten, gritty. The Cardinals, 27th overall. The Cardinals, 27th overall. After taking Harrison Jr., I could see them taking a lineman. Maybe Guyton. I think Guyton's really good. That would definitely help the Cardinals a lot. However, I like taking Rakestraw Jr. here more. Probably the best cornerback on the board that's left here, and the Cardinals need help defensively. Rakestraw Jr. can be that guy. He's really aggressive, and he's even prominent in the run game. He'll hit hard, and I think bringing that type of player to Arizona would be great. I think if he drops here, a lot of people think the Eagles might take him. The Eagles need help with corner, and again, the Dolphins do too. If the Cardinals if he's available for the Cardinals, I think they 100% take him. Moving on to the Bills. Everyone knows who it's going to be. Well, not who, but what it's going to be. It's going to be a wide receiver. I like Mitchell here. Super fast, super explosive. I know I say that about a lot of players, but players I say it about, they really are. He's great top speed, and most importantly, has great hands. So he can get downfield fast, he can get open fast, and he has great hands. Josh Allen can just throw him up the ball, and it'll work out. And that's what Josh Allen hopes for a lot. We saw Diggs have some drops. Gabe Davis has been injured. Josh Allen needs more people to throw to that can catch the ball, and Mitchell can be that guy. The Lions, 29th overall. My favorite prospects for the Lions are Jackson Powers Johnson and also Kool-Aid McKinstry. Now, they need some help in a lot of areas. I think they're going to take cornerback or lineman here, and this is a pick I really like for the Lions. I think it's very probable. Chop Robinson. I think Chop Robinson is a phenomenal prospect. pairing him up with Aiden Hutchinson will be game changing for the defense. The Lions already have the best run defense in the NFL, but they need to put pressure on the quarterback and they need help with their secondary. And this can solve both those issues. Chop Robinson might need a little bit of development, but the Lions have great coaching staff, develop players very well. Get low, he's quick, really strong. Just pairing him up with Hutchinson. How do you stop that? And I think the Lions take him. They'll be a phenomenal team. I really like that pick there. I really like Chop Robinson. Really exciting player to watch. He has that dog in him, and I think the Lions might take him there. People might say it's a reach, but we've seen Brad Holmes do it before, and I think it's very probable. The Ravens, they also need a lot of help. I like them also taking a wide receiver. Troy Franklin's still available, and he's really good. He's really fast. He has great hands. OBJ, I don't think is cutting it for a wide receiver 2 or 3. He's fine, but you need someone younger. You need some new talent in there to match up with Zay Flowers, who's also phenomenal. The Ravens, though, they don't really need a ton of help. Offensive line, they need some help, and defensive line and cornerback. The Ravens are in a very weird spot. They're already a Super Bowl contending team, so the 49ers, they're going to need some help with offensive line. I said I liked Guyton earlier. He's still the best offensive lineman available, and I think they'll take him there. Eventually, you're going to have to replace some of your star players on your offensive line. You guys are doing it. They need some depth there as well. I think Guyton's a great pick there. Again, needs some development, but I think he'll be very solid. And then the Chiefs, the final pick of the first round, they're going to go wide receiver. You already know. The Bills and Chiefs are like locks for wide receivers. You know what it's going to be. Here the Chiefs would either take Led or Keon. I know it's just the top 2 available, but they are the best here. And I like Keon Coleman. He is extremely fast. He has great hands. He's a lot like Mitchell. And that's what both those teams need. They need someone that can catch the ball, that's fast, has speed, vertical threat. Chiefs need it more than the Bills. Who's their vertical threat? Rashee Rice is good, but he's not a vertical threat. Marquez Valdes-Scantling can't be trusted and catch the ball. Who do they have? They have nobody stretching out the defense. They still win. So that'll be really exciting to watch. A lot of players in here that'll be exciting to watch. A lot of interesting picks. I'm just, obviously the first like 10 picks are the most important and have the most hype around them, but there's a lot of different ways this can pan out. I'll be very interested to see what happens. Anyway, that is my first mock draft of the offseason. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. What picks did you like? What picks didn't you like? What explanations did you not like? Let me know. And if you enjoyed my content, I'd appreciate if you could like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. More will be out soon.